Oh man. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What's up, everybody? Stalker Actual. I'm gonna run a quick stream and explain the 11. It's been quite some time since I've fiddled around with the old explain, so just kind of bear with me as I get myself together. And yeah, should be a decent stream, hopefully, if I don't do anything stupid and crash or anything like that, and talk about a few things, and should be cool. So let me get my stream all lined out here. By the way, we're in the IXEG. That's India X-ray Echo Golf 737-300 flavor, and located in Dallas Love Field in good old Dallas, Texas. So, in case you guys who are unfamiliar with the area, and Dallas Love is located more toward the city center. So, the runway is fairly short, but we're light, so I went ahead and derated the takeoff anyway. Yeah, it's just being weird. All right, cool. There we go. There we go. Okay, got that loaded up. All right. Okay, so all right, cool. So without further ado, I'm dive on in the crotch pit here. I got the flight plan loaded up. I knew I didn't want to bore you guys too much with that, but long story short, we're going to be leaving on the 1-3 right. That's the plan. Heading south, we'll be taking the Lindray 4 departure. Few directs in there, direct ZALEA, then direct Sawmill, and direct LSU, then on into Nolan. So, like I said, everything's set up. MCP set up, all that good stuff. Pneumatics pretty much set up, and they're overheating. So I forgot this isn't all nice and automated like everything else is nowadays. But there is overheat protection, so just turned them off for us. So no worries there. All right, pressurization set. We'll go ahead and get those seatbelt signs on. And we'll go ahead and pick the right ignition. Now, like I said, this is a Dash 300 flavor of the 737 family. So, she honestly, it's about the same as the Dash 700. I mean, as far as the commonality is concerned, I mean, there's a few differences. Of course, once you get in the innards, there's a lot more. There's a lot more computerization and some optimizations, sprinkled here, hither and there. So, but for the most part, I mean, if you jumped into this from being in a, what we see now, like a Dash 700 or, a Dash, what else do we fly? What, Dash 8? Yeah, 7-700, Dash 800. I mean, other than, the engine displays, which, I mean, I don't care what kind of airplane you're in. If you don't know where the heck your engine displays are, I mean, you just need to kind of rethink your profession. But, yeah, most everything's there. So, and it was done intentionally, just kind of mitigate training costs and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, so I don't have the pretty, ground services and stuff like I do, in P3D. So we're just gonna get down to get down. Go ahead and turn off our parking brake and try to push. I think this. Oh god, gotta wait for the push part. Oh, it pulls the gateway. How cool! Didn't have to load up SODI or KDAL or any of those little programs. Oh my gosh, where in the heck are we going? What? Wait, what? Wait, whoa. What? Oh no, that's not the view I wanted. I'm sure there's a key command for this, but I totally don't know it. What? Seriously, are we doing that right now? So we're just what? Oh my gosh. Alright. Is there like a pushback function here? Yes, there is. Thank you, IXEG, for not completely jacking up my flow here. X-Plane 11, you catch an L for that one, because I think that was an X-Plane add-on. Correct me if I'm wrong, so you catch an L for that one. X-Plane, sorry, your fault. But, alright, so now we're pushing. Go ahead and try to get number 2 fired up here. So we got our engine start switches right here. They're not as pretty as the Airbus, but we'll work with what we got. So we'll go ahead and turn off the packs, the air conditioners, because we know we don't need those to start the engines. We need all that good bleed air. So you hear that. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring it over to ground. Should get an N2 indication here shortly. Start valves open. Got the N2 indication right there. And I'm gonna look for about 22%, somewhere in there. I'm not gonna be petty, we'll pick 23. So we got fuel flow brought in right there. EGT's lighting off. Number 1 compressor is spinning. So far looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we're good and push back before I stop it. But yeah, it looks like number 2's lighting off nicely. This is good. Very good. So alright, is that it? Set parking brake. Okay. There we go. Parking brake set right there. Ah, cool. Alright, so this little component here is all a part of the IXEG 737 package. So that's nice. It's don't have to get any extra plugins or anything to get your pushback services, which is awesome. Alright, so we got number 2 stabilized and lit right there. So make sure we'll go ahead and connect the generator. So normally what I'll do, which is part of like every flow that you'll see, is make sure that your number 2 generator, kind of like your alternator in the car, you want to make sure your number 2 generator is putting out. So yeah, she's putting out good AC voltage right there. So we'll go ahead and connect that bad boy. And you hear a bit clunk from the buses and the relays and everything tripping over. So well, not tripping, but you know, switching over. All right, so right now we're pulling off our number 2 generator. So make sure we're clear on the left. And go ahead and start that left engine. And it should get this little start valve open thing there. And our N2 compressor starts spinning up. It's almost like somebody blowing on the pinwheel, basically, is what's going on in that shell. In a very technical sense, but that's pretty much what's going on. So, alright, number 23. Just kind of lay on that, whatever. I'm still kind of like meh on the weather in X-Plane, but you know, whatever. Alright, while she's doing that, they can go ahead and bring in 5 degrees of flaps. A little flappage there. It takes a little minute for it to come up. It looks like our number 1 engine is lining out there at 21%. So go ahead and switch over to generator 1. It's good there. And connect it. Alrighty. So what we'll do now, we'll go ahead and turn on our bleed air sources coming off our engines. We no longer need the APU, so I'll put the isolation valve in auto and bring in our number 1, number 2 packs. And this is kind of when you also want to verify, make sure this guy's right, because you don't want to kill everybody while you're at cruising altitude. So it's about right. New Orleans, we all know that's like below sea level, so we'll just bring that like, oh, right now, let's bring that to like 0, should be good. And just don't forget to put that guy in flight before take-off. And see here. We'll leave our window heats off for now. Go ahead and turn on our pitot. So go ahead and get that going. Pitot. Pitot. Everyone say it. And since we gave them APU a minute to cool down, we'll go ahead and turn off the APU, as it has served its purpose. Clear that master caution. And go ahead and set our auto brace RTO. Wait for the light. Like that. Alright, flaps are set. Go ahead and turn on those flight directors. And I forgot which way. Let's see here. Let's look. Yeah, so we'll be taxiing over yonder. I bet we're pretty close to this guy here, so we'll start off. Let me see if I can like adjust my seat, because I'm pretty sure this is fairly realistic, because these panels sit pretty high, so I have to get my seat arranged. And all right, got brakes look good. We'll do a brake check when we apply a little breakaway power. And about 30% should do. Unless I still have the parking brake on. Yep, still got the parking brake on. Don't pay me. Ah, there we go, there we go. She's rolling quite nicely there. And it's just a little check at the brakes. Beep. Alright, so make sure if we're on takeoff and we hit a. Alright, hey, how's it going there, buddy? There we go. Let this guy go ahead and go. I'm pretty sure he is. Looks like he is in some type of a hurry, so pull on behind this feller. And there is a way to, I mean, you can download something for the traffic, I think, to kind of get the traffic to not do that. But I haven't done it, honestly. I haven't even fooled with it. Let's see if she'll taxi on idle thrust. I'm not that heavy, but I'm not that heavy. Let's see if she lines. That was my ground speed. Nah, about 14 knots, and she's holding. Oh yeah, money. So we'll taxi on down here. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? We need to go. We need to bust a Yui, because they're. I'm not sure what weather they're pulling, but it's not right. So I mean, talk about busting the immersion factor, though. I mean, you got American taking off at Dallas Love. I mean, I know, you know, there are. I know I'm not the only one who just. I mean, granted, this is not standard scenery, and I guess that's kind of a double-edged sword, because they make it super easy to install scenery on X-Plane. I mean, just download the folder, go into the custom scenery folder in your X-Plane 11 folder, and just drop it in there. And as long as you have like all the libraries, which basically you just might as well take like 2 hours out of your day and just download all the libraries, because like everything is going to freaking need them. And I mean, you just kind of install them and just roll. I mean, there's no, you don't have to really add anything, or I mean, it's pretty nice. P3D seems to have been trying to follow suit, but yeah, well, you know how that goes. So I do miss the fact that you can't see the see downtown Dallas from here, which from Love you can. But I mean, maybe it's a setting or something. I don't have SAT or something like that. I don't know. My frames are fairly decent here, and so I'd rather not jack them up because I think right now I'm already on. I'm one notch below maximum, so I don't want to bring it up all the way and just yeah ruin the experience. So I'm going to move my mic. Hopefully it doesn't like cause any. Okay. All right. Yeah. So right now we're on idle power and we're getting up there. I'm at some break. Kind of have to slow down a little bit. There we go. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this one here. And I believe, what lake is that? That's not, is that, what lake is that? Um, Off topic subject, but that lake there used to have some really good fishing, and of course, well, you know, it being by the airport, um, I think you can, I think it's fishable still, but I wouldn't, yeah. Now it's gonna have me looking. Hold on. Let's see, what lake is that? What lake is that? Bachman Lake. There you go. Okay. But awesome plane spotting site though. But I just wouldn't fish out of it. Apparently they're having some issues with silt or something like that. So. All right, so let's go ahead and landing lights on. Let's see, position lights on, and collision on, strobe lights on. Double check phone. Okay. Alrighty. And basically, we're just gonna do a clear this file type deal here since we're not under any, not doing any kind of ATC or anything. So, without further ado, go ahead and give her a wee bit of power. Take on the active here. Let's see if I can do this and not completely jack up this takeoff. Alright, get her somewhat semi-lined out there. And okay. Alright, and let's see here, take off. And see if I can get that. Alright, takeoff power set. Engine instruments, thin limits, airspeed live, 8 knots. A little bit of rudder there from that wind. Alright. V1, rotate. V2. And we got positive rate of climb, gear up. Alright. Alrighty. Go ahead and start working our flaps out. Those newer gen aircraft will definitely spoil you. Will definitely spoil you. And this flies like a large aircraft. You know, some of them there. And I got the new hydraulics, and they're like super light on the controls. Yeah, you get none of that with this. She demands that you fly her. Now, once she trims out now, she lines out pretty good. It's just... I'm going to have that turn here shortly. Good grief, got a lot of forward trim. Yeah, she's lined up pretty good right there. Now, you can do control wheel steering, which does help. Ooh. Does help a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's will happen, especially if you're not on top of it. You'll forget that it's on. You'll forget that it's on. You're like, why in the world is my autopilot not working? And yeah, it's probably because your control wheel steering is on. Which the I mean, even the newer gen 737 still have it. And just in my opinion, the enunciations are a little better. Well, of course, it would be, but and I'm kicking a little rudder there to keep this guy in the doghouse. Right now, got our climb and climb mode there. VNAV speed's on and LNAV's on, so far so good. I mean, we're only going to New Orleans as well. I think it's like 401 miles, so oof. A little nose up trim. Keep my nose up just a little bit. Take a little rudder. There we go. That was odd. Busting 250 here, but okay. All right, just hit 10,000 there. I'll bring the nose down a little bit. All right, we'll give it to old auto. And go ahead and bring these guys in, turn off our landing lights. Else set. We'll go ahead and put the fasten seatbelt sign to auto. There we go. And we are off to New Orleans. Let's cycle through a few of the views there. Go ahead and turn this guy on. Pressurization's looking good. Cabin's climbing nicely. You know, just kind of rub your hand over. Well, wow, yeah, just kind of, you know, normally you just kind of rub your hand over the overhead there. It's kind of go through like a little flow to make sure everything is configured properly. Alright, let's go down. I'll go ahead and throw that guy back to both. And it's kind of slide on back there. A decent engine view here. Old CFM's gobbling up all that nice air. Not too turbulent, not too bumpy today, so I'm not getting much of a wing flex. And this should be on 2904. And let's see, should bring this guy over to the map. There we go. And turn his on as well. Okay. And bring that up just a little bit. And I still have to like adjust it a little bit, a little more. There we go. Oh man. So yeah, all right guys, now that we're finally heading on to New Orleans, just a couple of things I kind of came across while I was during my work weeks. Saw that Captain Sim released the 757 now, so for those of you who are not familiar with Captain Sim, they used to, I mean, they're kind of like a they're kind of, to me, they're almost like the Coronado of commercial aviation when it comes to flight sim add-ons. Their avionics aren't quite as bad, but they are known for releasing a good many packages to get things lined out. Now, their 7.5 was one of the actually it was the best one out there for flight sim at the time. I mean, they've been out for quite a while. At last couple of years, it kind of, I mean, I think they pushed out like a radar app or something like that. Not app, wow. They pushed out, you know, a radar add-on for flight sim, and just kind of dipped off into obscurity, and they came back and so 1 second, I'm going to change this to map. There we go. And then we've got discontinuity at ZALEA, which we'll address that here shortly. But yeah, they're kind of like, I don't know. I mean, they did have their issues, but once everything got lined out, you know, I mean, they're pretty good. Pretty good group. But then Quality Wings pushed out their 757, and granted, the Quality Wings didn't have the quality. I mean, that's, if you've seen some of Captain Sim's work as far as texture wise, I mean, they can't be matched. It was actually only up until what, PMDG and FS Labs, when you start seeing some of the texture work rival the quality of Captain Sims. And so I mean, there's definitely nothing to sneeze at. And then they think they pushed out the their version of the 737-200, their 777 series. So I mean, they definitely have some content out there, but they've been gone for quite some, a couple of years. You know, I mean, nobody's heard anything from them, and all of a sudden they released this, and just looking at it, I mean, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. They've been on top of their updates, which, I mean, that's all one could ask for, right? I mean, even you know, there's not going to be an add-on that does not need patching, but as long as you're being proactive in your patch work, I mean, that's all I care about. I mean, I can deal with old bugs here and there. Um, but I mean, as far as what I've been hearing, there's some issues with VNAV, cost index calculations. In case if you're not familiar with, basically is how much fuel you want to burn as far as cost index is concerned. So, but I think this hotfix fixed it. I haven't had a chance to grab it yet because this is my just came back from a little vacation. So, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit behind these days off. So, didn't really look into getting anything else to show you guys, but let's see, for those Texans out there, oh, what is that guy's name? It's Sierra X-Ray Alpha Delta, I believe. Hold on, I gotta verify that and see. I believe I'm right. I think I'm right. Oh yeah, plus PC12 just released for X-Plane 11, so it's probably gonna be pretty decent, I'd imagine. Let me see here. Let's chasing squirrels. Hold on, let me look. All right. Oh, it's all right. There we go. Okay, it's that's what it is. SXAD, which is SX Airport Designs, but they do a lot of regional style airports. Some, some Class C, most of them like Class D airports, and but they do them at a really good price point. Now they're not gonna have all the bells and whistles like Flight Beam or anything like that, but there are some good, decent, high fidelity airports, and I think that's kind of, in my opinion, that's really the biggest difference between X-Plane and X-Plane like the P3D and FXX and all those guys. Most of the high quality scenery for P3D or X-Plane you have to buy, and quite honestly, when I do dive over into X-Plane, I don't think I have found the airport yet that didn't have some sort of free airport scenery. And I mean, which is awesome, so that tells me the community is super strong. They believe in the product and they're not leaving it to, large development teams who have to, ask for that, more premium price to put out content for said flight sim. So, I mean, there's, 9 times out of 10, your airport has been touched, because, I mean, X-Plane, they, seems like they understood that they would have to rely on third party scenery designers quite a bit, because I'm sure it's a pretty huge task trying to produce scenery for every airport that's out there, or every visited airport that's out there. So, you got, people who have been, releasing, fairly consistent content over the years for X-Plane, which makes it just awesome. There's one guy that comes to mind. I mean, the stuff he puts out is, I mean, I'd pay for it. I mean, it's not gonna. There's no if or ands or buts about it. Like I would pay for it. I think the guy is what, Mr. X or something like that, I think. I'm horrible. I should know that, but I don't. Looking for it now. Yeah, no, Mr. X6 uh is his name. And I mean, just phenomenal releases over the years. Yeah, I think just recently he finally kind of slid over into the commercialization, so I mean, which is fine. And you got a few other guys, Freddie Dupuis or whatever his name is. He does a lot of southern airports. I think there's one for Baton Rouge. Just coming off the top of my head in Baton Rouge. Did he do Gulfport? Yeah, Gulfport, Mississippi, and a few other airports there that he's released just awesome scenery for. And I mean, all of that's free. Everything is free. Phoenix, Portland, of course, yeah, Seattle, Los Angeles for free. San Diego free. In Chicago, free. I mean, you got all these airports there that have really good scenery for free. So gate add-ons, auto gate, that's free as well. And one cool thing I did notice, like so every scenery, and this is almost kind of like what is like programming or developing or whatever, but every scenery uses a class of objects or a library. And in order for the scenery that you decide to install for you to even actually see it, you have to have that particular scenery library, which the library holds the objects that the scenery calls on and places it in your sim. Well, some of us, I'm not going to say it like myself, we may miss, because some of them uses multiple library packages. So, some people like myself tend to forget or whatever, or, you got the kids running around, you get sidetracked, and you miss a package. So let's say you miss a package. Well, back in the day, when I say back in the day, like X-Plane 10, I used to say, oh, the scenery doesn't work, or something like that. There's a problem with the scenery. And it might like halfway load or something like that, or may not load at all. But it was kind of bothersome because you'll be flying. Let's say you're doing like let's say you're doing like a transcontinental, like LA to New York, and you happen to pass over Chicago, and you have some Chicago scenery that's not all the way installed. Well, you'll get this notification that stops your sim. So let's say you're gone, you're gone about your day, you come back, and like you've been stuck on this notification for freaking hours. And you're like, dude, seriously? Well, now they still have the notifications. I bet they tell you, hey, basically it's almost like, X-Plane looks at what's supposed to be on the scenery, and it's, calling, for those particular objects, and the objects aren't there. Well, it tells you, hey, you're missing Mr. X library or something. Click here to learn more. Like Starship Troopers, for those of you guys out there. Anybody? I don't know. Well, kind of like, Starship Troopers, like, would you like to learn more? So you click the learn more button, and bam, it takes you where you download it. I mean, how awesome is that? I'm cool with that. So getting everything set up, I kind of dealt with that a little bit. Did I clear that discontinuity? Yeah, I did. So I had to deal with that a little bit. And once I got that lined out, I mean, it loaded just fine. We're about to go into New Orleans here, so because I had one that was missing the fruit stand library package, which from what I can tell contained like a bunch of different static airplanes that kind of dress up the airport a little bit. So I downloaded that. Did I do? Okay, thank God. I didn't even call it transition altitude. Whoops. But I'm at turn too. Awesome. All right. But so I did that, and yeah, I mean, it's so far so good. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I see why people are just like, meh, you know, the heck with P3D and the heck with FXX. You know, it's X-Plane all the way, you know, and I get it. My only gripe about X-Plane at the moment still, if they could just get the weather. Okay, let's just go ahead and name the elephant in the room, Active Sky. If we could get Active Sky into X-Plane 11, I would probably jump to the X-Plane 11 camp. I probably would. I don't know. There are some airplanes. I mean, I'll probably still have both, but I'll probably use X-Plane 11 a whole lot more than I am now. Which, I mean, that's still not, I guess, a good reason to. But I don't know. Sometimes I just prefer P3D because it's almost like X-Plane 11 has P3D on the scenery, and P3D has X-Plane 11 on the availability aircraft. Now that gap is closing, but, and you know, like for example, I mean, we can all, just looking at this, we can all clearly tell that that gap is closing, but you know, there's still some aircraft types I would like to see get touched on a little more before, you know, I think I'd just throw in the towel on prepared 3D version 4.1. So, but yeah, but moving along, let's see, what else did I come across? Really not much. TFDI, for those of you who are familiar, are the developer behind the Boeing 717 that was released and was a train wreck, but they seem to have brought it out of the ashes fairly quickly, and it's actually turned out to be a pretty viable add-on for Flight Sim. But I think they're still working on their 1.1 update, so you know, we're kind of still waiting on bated breath for that. Getting it lined out for sure. Aerosoft, you know what? Here's my deal with Aerosoft. Until they show me a fully functioning CRJ 700/900 sim, I mean, don't talk to me about anything else, Aerosoft. I'm sorry. I mean, that's not to say they don't put out quality add-ons. That's, you know, far from being true. I'm just hoping their CRJ add-on doesn't give up the ghost just yet. Just please, 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 please get the LNAV lined out. I mean, no, I'm not even worried about the features. Just if they can get the LNAV lined out, I'm good, because I was actually going to run that today. I was going to say, like, you know what, if I haven't fired up that, because I think they released 1.0.3.0 update, and I was actually going to run that. I was going to check that out, but I mean, people are still saying they have problems with it, so it's just like, I don't know. It's like, seriously. I mean, it's been out for 6 months now, and I mean, I don't care about the bugs, like the old issues here, but if I pay for an aircraft, and especially pay what we've all paid for an aircraft, the minimum that we ask for is that it follows a flight plan appropriately. If it can do that, I'm not worried about anything else. So what, the nose wheel doesn't turn when it's how it's supposed to turn. So what, the anti-collision lights are a little weird or something like that, So what? I mean, that's, I get it, it's part of developing. I mean, that's why patches are called patches. Why, I get it. But, let's just make sure we focus on, the pertinent stuff, and we'll worry about getting petty with the little small issues here and there later. So that's my little rant on Aerosoft. I think they're still working. I get a couple other projects. Honestly, once I kind of got jaded with the CRJ, I kind of stopped looking at them. I was like, whatever. They do have a sale. If you are interested, and I mean, that's not. I mean, not. You can fly the CRJ, but it's gonna do. I mean, it's gonna do every now and then. It'll do some weird thing, some weirdness, and you're just like, what? So as long as you're ready by the heading select button, if you want to snag it, I mean, if I was gonna get, I'll probably get it now when it's on discount. I wouldn't pay full price for it. I think they're running a 20% discount until until April 2nd. So yeah, I think it's right now it's for $39.99 US versus $49.99 initially. They still have their Airbus A318, A319, which I mean their Airbus series is good. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's still pretty good. So, but other than that, yeah, Aerosoft is still catching L. There's hope for a W, but still catching L until we see another patch. Okay. Let's see here. Ah, yes, my favorite that I still hold true and dear to my heart. It's very dear to my heart. The Saab 340. It's an A model. It's not a B model. It's an A model, but it's still Saab 340. Apparently, X Aviation / Leading Edge Simulations. The 1.5 patch is done. However, they're still working on the installer for it. So, which I'm not gonna lie, the X Aviation's installers are pretty nice because you really don't have to do anything. So I'm pretty sure the installer is not just a basic installer. I'm pretty sure it does some wizardry in the background that requires some awesome coding skills, and it's probably pretty time intensive. So I get that they're still working on getting that lined out, creating the installer for it. So let's see. Trying to think. The only gripe I had about the Saab, let's just back the truck up to the Saab for a minute. The only issue that I had with the Saab was that, and I don't think it's so much of an issue. What these developers are trying to do, which I'm sure most of you guys know, they're trying to bring everything that's in the real world, including the feel, the systems, not only just the systems, but like the feel of actually sitting in the flight deck, on the left seat in the flight deck. And they're trying to get everything to come together to give you a plausible experience. And I'm thinking what happened, in effort to fix one thing, it kind of skewed another. The shape of in my opinion, the shape of the glare shield is a little off to me. But like I said, I don't think making a turn there. Okay, I don't think it's. I mean, that's petty, and I'm just being petty for a moment. I don't think it's done just because they didn't really. I think it was just they were trying to get because not only do we need to see the glare, good view of the windows, but we also need to see a good a good view of the instruments as well. So it's kind of like this one. It looks a little weird because like, why am I sitting up on top of the seats? But you know, if you're actually sitting on the flight deck, you would have the ability to kind of shift your position or lean forward. And if you got track IR or some awesomeness like that, I mean, you really don't even have to deal with this. But you know, for those of us who don't, um, you know, you still have that, you know, it gets a little weird, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean, it's not their fault, I don't think, you know, I think it's just, you know, um, in service of trying to get the best user experience and not, you know, see all of this, but none of this. So, I mean, I kind of get it. But other than that, I mean, they're trucking right along on that. So hopefully we'll be getting that. Heck, I'd say probably in the next 30 days. And I'm willing to bet, you know, they'll get that lined out hopefully. Um, let's see what else. Really, just hadn't been a whole lot going on. Phil there did release a compatibility update for their 175 Embraer 175 195 series, their regional jet, which I don't know, 195 to me isn't so regional, but whatever. They released a compatibility update. There's some stuff. Basically, they got to work in P3 version 4, but some of the features that you got in like FSX, you're not gonna get in version 4 until they get that fixed. Honestly, I would just rather for them just to come at me with 135, 145 update, and we can worry about the 175 on the back end. That's just me. I don't know. So they're doing that. Let's see. Oh, scenery wise, there is some new scenery coming out for P3D and FXX for the Reno Tahoe International Airport from PACSAM. So they've released some screenshots and that, so looks pretty good. Let's see, I'll try to post them here. I'll post them here in the screenshots. I mean, the description. That's let's see. Let's see, post that there. Bam, there you go. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. I mean, I don't really visit RNO that much, so I mean, I'm just kind of sound like me, you know, whatever. But it's there. Actually, while I'm running my mouth here, let's oh, Dad, we'll use that. All right, there we go. And we'll just connect that to that. Ma'am. Yeah, girl. All right, cool. That's looking pretty good. Good grief. I was wondering, like, why is it a little weird? Yeah, apparently we got like a 92 knot, almost a quartering tailwind, but it's looking more like a crosswind. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be darn near straight crosswind, coming out of the southwest. So yeah, we're a little skewed. Picking up decent ground speed, 461 knots. Still a little skewed, but you know, whatever. Got our top of descent here coming up shortly. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, like I talk about, you know, well, you know, X-Plane doesn't have the quality aircraft, but I mean, this is an exception. You know, I mean, it's the gauges feel alive; they're not static. I mean, that's what you see. You know, um, the vibrations in the panel. I mean, all this. You know, I do remember this vividly, like the rolling nature of the gauges. I sound like freaking somebody from like the Food Channel. You know, it's weird, but I mean that's the only way I know how to describe it. You know, but the panel feels very organic. You know, it feels alive. Like I love the feeling of, you know, you got a little dirt here and there because not everybody who flies is the cleanest. So I mean, you got some handprints there. Pretty sure you got a couple of coffee stains here and there. You know, somebody was like pulled a whoopsie and spilled coffee or whatever. You know, so you know somebody jacked up the master caution, so you got a little twist there. And if you look, it doesn't all the way. It doesn't seat the same all the time. It's just depending on how it feels. It's like, yeah, I'll stop right here. Nah, kind of candy corn, you know. But I mean, just little nuances like that. Just like, good grief, you know. This is one of those airplanes. It took them a good, oh gosh, how long have they been talking about this thing? It took them a good several years. And when I say several years, they could have almost designed an aircraft and the amount of time they took to get this out. But and I almost, you know, I was like, man, maybe this is vaporware, but they finally pushed it out, and good grief, you know. And I mean, it's kind of like the FS Labs A320 for P3D and FXX. I mean, it was just like, good grief, it took forever. But once it came out, you know, and it was right. I mean, you know, yeah, it got kind of weird for a minute. I mean, you're freaking trying to mimic like God knows how many computers and cram it into a flight sim. Yeah, it's gonna be a little off on release, you know. But I mean, this guy here, I mean, if they, good grief, I mean, you know, every time I've had this aircraft for ever since release almost, and every time I get in it, I find something new. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how you kind of know you got a winner there. I mean, it's just a just a privilege to fly. You know, I've never had the opportunity to, but I mean, it's just a real privilege to fly. And you know, their Saab is the same thing. I mean, it's two different development houses, but it's kind of under that one publisher, X Aviation, and their Saab. I mean, it's the best that's out there. There's no other in comparison. Coronado, actually, on her Facebook page, I was going across her. Coronado is working on a Saab Fairchild A3, Saab 340, and yeah, 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 yeah. It's going to be nice visually. That, my friends, I can assure you, it will be the best looking Saab out there. There will be no better looking Saab out there. And it looks like we're starting a descent right there. Bless their hearts. It's just, man, they try. I mean, I do appreciate the fact that they are receptive to customer response. You know, they seem to be, you know, honestly, their development times are borderline scary, because I mean, it's just like a couple of months, bam, another airplane, a couple of months, bam, another airplane, you know, which is great, you know, for that, you know, rush. It's like, yeah, we finally got, you know, whatever. But it doesn't work. You know, it's just, you know, it's like sometimes, especially the more automated type, you know, the more automated type, you know, I guess I shouldn't really say automated, but the aircraft that have more updated avionics, I'll put it to you like that. Um, they just they kind of miss it. You know, they're getting better. I saw they released the synthetic version. I mean, the synthetic vision gauge for some of their aircraft, but it just, and I still got that. And okay, it might just be something wrong with the scenery. Meh. But yeah. Actually, interesting thing about the whole scenery, in addition to what we talked about earlier. But yeah, it's just, man, you know, it's like you want to buy it, but you just, you know, you're gonna have to wait until, you know, oh man, I'm gonna mess up his name. I'm so sorry. Bert Peak, or Mr. Burt. I'll call him Mr. Burt when I email him. But I mean, not Burt Reynolds, but you know, Burt Peak. But anyway, yeah. But you know, somebody like that is gonna have to like work their magic to basically freaking take the GT and the 750. We all know what it is, GT and 750, and slap it in one of those panel holes somehow, just to get the thing to track a flight plan, some way, somehow. And that's probably what's going to happen. The thing that really makes me nervous about the Saab is not so much the avionics. I mean, there's basic Proline, you know, Proline, Artificial Horizon, HSI. I mean, that's, you know, I'm pretty sure they can easily get that going without completely screwing it up. But it's the systems on the Saab are somewhat unique. Well, not really unique, but they're different. Like the CTOT, you know, I mean, um, I don't know how that's gonna. I mean, they might nail it. I'm sure they're. I mean, I'm sure they've heard some of the grievances with their other aircraft. They may nail it, but you know, the hydraulic systems. I mean, I'm pretty sure they might nail it, but you know, just don't know. And while we're on the subject of Coronado, they're also working on a Fokker F50, which is the Fokker F50 is one of those turboprops that, I mean, we hardly ever see turboprops in the U.S. At all to begin with. I mean, there's a few areas up north like Denver and the East Coast, you'll still see a lot of them. But I'm looking for the ILS for runway. What is that, 11? Yeah. New Orleans, look at you. You have a Cat 3 approach? Seriously? Look at you. Oh, getting all upgraded and high tech and stuff. Let's see here. Alrighty, let's go ahead. Yeah, dude, this airplane is the basic of the basic. Oh, look at that. Let's see. Go back 109.90. All right. I know. Yes, I know. It doesn't halfway work. I get it. Yes, I know. I know. I even download that package, and you're still not loading it. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing kind of bugs me about Explain, buddy. Oh yeah. Let's see. As soon as I get that, hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see. Looks like we're descending pretty good. I'm gonna add a little spoiler. Kind of get that vibration there from the spoilers. Let's see. Go ahead and start zooming in. Zoom in just a little bit there. Coming out 19,000 feet. grab some weather, courtesy of airnav.com. That's www.airnav.com. It's more geared toward real world aviation, but it works pretty good for our purposes. Let's see, what we're looking like. What we're looking like. All right, I got broken at few at 1900, broken at 2700. That sounds about right for New Orleans. Terminator 2998. Okay. Yeah. So someone saw someone made a forum post regarding the we'll go into this re-breakout. Regarding the notifications that Explain gives out regarding the scenery. You know, basically you can't turn them off. There's no way of turning them off, and they pretty much said, and that's, I mean, you kind of gotta love and hate, the laminar development team on that, but pretty much said, tell the authors to quit putting out crap scenery. I mean, that's pretty much what they said, and it's just like, Roger that. I mean, what can you say that, And I mean, I get what they're saying, like if they, their argument was, well, if we don't do it, turn it off, you'll get, get a lot of bad scenery in there and start causing problems. Okay, I get it. I get it. But just the way they said it, and I was just like, wow. I mean, that's wow. Roger. I mean, it's kind of, it was just, yeah, kind of took me by surprise the way that they said it, but they said it, and it's, okay, at least you're straightforward, let's see here. But I mean, other than that, I mean, at least you know what the problem is, and the scenery is confined to one folder. So, if you're having problems with the scenery, which that's probably what I'm going to do, so I can just remove it. And especially airports like New Orleans, there's multiple packages out there. So if one doesn't work for you, whatever, or you try reinstalling the libraries, doesn't work for you, and just uninstall it. And I think there's some entries you can change somewhere. And some libraries, like not all, but some require some special tricks here and there. But I mean, honestly, just probably better off removing it and finding something else that that tickles your fancy. All right, we'll do 141. That's fine, man. I hate landing at flaps 40. It's so just such an uncivilized configuration. It has to be something really abnormal for me to, I have to be like stupid heavy for me to want to land at flaps 40. I mean, it's just, yeah. And then the passengers are wondering what the heck's going on, because you're humming along at like 70% in one. So yeah, it's just easier just to. All right, coming out all that at around 10 grand. Not bad. Drag required. Roger that. Yeah, being that probably should have jumped on that a little earlier, but meh. We'll go ahead and get slowed down and should be fine. I am going to adjust my tilt up just a little bit. I'm bringing that tilt up there. And when I refer to, I'm talking about my radar there. A lot of times, especially on descent, you'll pick up some ground clutter. Alright, so it looks like she's lined out at 240. And normally what I'll do, I'll go ahead and try to, if it decides not to be weird. Yeah, I think it's going to be weird. We'll go ahead and zoom in a little closer. I don't think that airport has distance measuring equipment, though I could be wrong. Now, in theory, by us extending our landing lines there, we should get a little drag to kind of help us out, but it's just not. I know the Airbus it does, but it's not doing that. So we'll kind of ride it out there the best we can. Throw in some spoilers there. What we'll do, we'll throw in spoilers and then that should keep our vertical speed up a little bit so we won't be trying to chase the glide slope or anything. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set my auto brake to 2. Being that New Orleans doesn't have just the longest runway in the world. I'll put on that fastest seatbelt sign there. I know, drag required. I got the whole kitchen sink out. I know. I know. Yep, we are dumping all she has. Yeah, we're well past our 250 knots there. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and throw in the vertical speed mode there. Give her 1500 foot per minute. Let her line out. We're still below the glide slope, so that's cool. Got to bleed off a butt ton of the speed though. Man, she just does not want to give up that speed at all. There she goes, finally. Good grief. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just throw an altitude hold. And throw in AP mode. The localizer there. Yep, it's gonna be one channel. All right, throw in some leading edge slats. All right, let her line out at $170. I'm not scared. I'll dump that gear in a heartbeat. Whatever we got to do to slow down, that's what we'll do. All right, we're below. I'm throwing flats 5. All right, got a radar altimeter there. All right, below 190. Go ahead and throw 10 degrees of flaps. Start walking it down. I think it was 141 was our VREF. We'll do like +2. All right, go ahead and do that. All right. Go ahead and start working that flaps in. Flaps 30. There we go. Runway in sight. Try to get the speed brake to arm. Speed brake armed. All right. Alrighty there. Landing lights down. See what else is down. And turn on the runway. Turn off lights there. Gears down. Auto brake set. And speed brake is armed. Go ahead and adjust my settings here. I have the controls. And I have the auto throttle as well. And honestly, I mean, we're in visual condition, so right now I'm using the Pappies. Get that trim in there, get her nice and lined out. Get that power setting about between 55 and 60%. I found to be the sweet spot for this guy. Just kind of working in between there. Usually gives you pretty good results. A little power. 2 red, 2 green looks good. A little high, so I'm not going to so much adjust my pitch. Just going to adjust my power there. And she should catch it. There we go. I'm getting a little lower. I'm go ahead and get under it. Get on the glide path a little bit. Yep, I know. Get under that glide slope a little bit. Try not to chew up too much runway. Flare in there. And a little forward pitch there. Get some traction for the nose wheel. And she's lining out nicely there on that center line at 90 knots. That full forward pitch there. And 60 knots. We'll go ahead and kill her right there. Ease on them brakes. Get down to taxi speed, and we are in New Orleans. Home of the king cake, jambalaya, and all that stuff that we shouldn't eat, but we eat anyway. Like butter. Thank you, sir. I would say probably more like peanut butter, but we survived. But thank you, sir. Yeah, that came in a little hotter than I wanted to, but she'll do. She will do. So being that we don't have a first officer or anything like that, we'll go ahead and bring the aircraft to a nice safe stop and work on getting our flying surfaces cleaned up there. Get that auto brake off. Go ahead and turn on the old APU. Bring those landing lights up. Taxi lights on, runway turn off lights on, strobe lights off. And we don't need window heating anymore, so we'll go ahead and turn that off as well. There we go. Turn off pitos. We don't need those either. Not yet. Alright, so go ahead and get that bleed ready. Dual bleed light come on, but it'll be okay. We'll go ahead and open up the isolation valve and line it out. And we'll turn off the... Alright. And we'll just get a little breakaway thrust there. Nice and easy. She'll start rolling. And once she gets up there to about 10 knots on the ground speed in the carrier, we can walk her back. But just a real joy to fly. Man, I love flying this thing. When I do, I don't jump into X-Plane often, but when I do, I mean, I'll always crank up the IXEG 737. So it's a fun airplane to fly, man. Good Lord, it's the golden age of commercial aviation, you know. Super joy to fly. Get those spoilers up as well. There we go. Now we'll just catch this gate right here. Being that I'm lazy, I don't feel like taxiing anymore. And just keep in mind I am on idle thrust. We're just going off of idle thrust right now, which is super accurate. We can probably turn off an engine and we'll still go a little taxi speed. Might have to bring up the thrust a little bit, but not much. So go ahead and get her nice and parked right there. Ease on the brakes and stop. Alrighty. Go ahead and set that parking brake. APU's on. Go ahead, girl. Connected. Go ahead and turn those bleeds off so we won't get that little exhaust type smell coming into the cabin. And bring those fuel control knobs to cut off. And welcome to New Orleans. And we'll turn that off there. And fuel pumps off there. There she goes already. Sweet, guys. Well, yeah, it was super awesome flight. Like I said, I love this thing. I even did a little, you can even add the little winglets there. And it does fly a little differently, especially on the roll axis. Flies a little differently. So yeah, just super nice airplane. From IXEG, check it out if you haven't checked it out. Till next time, guys, it's been a super stream. I appreciate it. I got one more day off, so I might squeeze another one in. I'm not sure. But even if I don't, be sure to check out the Twitter. All that fun stuff. Leave a comment, subscribe if you like. And till next time, guys, you guys have an awesome Super Bowl Sunday. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. And take care of yourselves and each other.